The Hazleton City regular council meeting will come to order on Tuesday, February 25th, 2014. We'll now stand for a moment of silent meditation. Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Fast. Cassatt.
Here.
Mope. Here. Sosar.
Here.
Mundy.
Here. Next is approving the minutes of the previous meeting. Well, we have to present them. Go ahead.
I'll present.
Second. I have a couple of questions. I want to just, there's some things we're going to go over in the minutes. I'll make a motion that we table the minutes.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Cassatt.
Yes.
Mope.
Yes.
Sosar.
Yes.
Mundy.
Yes. Next is proclamations and communications. We have none, but I want to, before we get into the rest of our meeting, congratulate the chief and the police force and the attorney general. Chief, could you come out here, please? I was at the meeting was it Wednesday?
Yes.
Yeah, it was an excellent meeting. The chiefs, you spoke well. So did the attorney general. It was an excellent meeting. Just want to congratulate you and your police force and the attorney general and their staff. They did a great job.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We can't thank them enough. Wish they'd come back again too.
I greatly appreciate your.
Okay, it was a great job. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, courtesy of the floor to the audience regarding matters on our agenda only.
D. Deacus, Hazleton. This is concerning Resolution 14-35. Whenever you set fees have to be set by an ordinance. Thank you.
What was that, Dee?
Okay, the resolution for the stormwater fees are always set by ordinance. You've been doing that for years and years. So, thought I'd point that out.
Okay, thank you.
It
says it in the ordinance by resolution.
Sylvia Thomas, Hazleton. I'm sure that all of you saw this in the paper, and that some of you went to the meeting on February 19th with Attorney General Kane and Chief DeAndrea about how they spoke about the success that the impact unit had on the selling of drugs in Hazleton. In a 3-day period, 30 arrests were made and 9,060 packets of heroin were seized. That is amazing. But it's also frightening. I have a reason for saying this. Investigators say heroin is the drug of choice in the area. That drug makes a slave out of people. Go to your computer and type in stories written by heroin users. One story was written by Alice, and I think she was 17, who wrote, "From the first day I started heroin, I never stopped. If anything, death was better than a life as a junkie." The reason I'm saying this is to remind council about the terrible state of our beautiful city. Drugs are the most dangerous part of living in Hazleton, but there are other big problems for those of us living in Hazleton. If you're a property owner, this city is milking us dry. Taxes went up, I believe, 43 or 46% last year. The sewer bill went up from $80 to $120 every 3 months. We now have rental registration fees, inspection fees, stormwater runoff fees, et cetera, et cetera. It goes on and on. And what gets me mad is I know this city doesn't do nothing about the non-payers. I'm asking this council to think about the welfare of our city by acting for the welfare of the people of Hazleton. Think about us not just when you collect taxes, but when you spend that money by making sure we get what we pay for. Don't run the good property owners out of Hazleton, because that's what's happening. Make everyone pay their bills and keep an eye on the money the city collects. Our town needs better leadership now before it's too late. I would hope that, considering the state that our city is in, our mayor and our city council will work together to get our city back. And just one more thing, with everything going on with the drugs, I don't think we should be cutting Chief DeAndrea's salary. It's a big job he has, and he's doing a darn good job. And I don't think we should discourage our police. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Judy Urcho Hazleton. Two things that I want to talk about. The first thing is the 2014-33, the veto. Tonight you guys have a very important job, each and every one of you. And I think from the last election that the people have spoken that they want change. The budget that you guys came up with, I think, is a good one. The reason why you have someone to be a controller is to make sure that there's not wasteful spending anymore. The reason that you guys came up with the cuts on people that are non-union is because that's the only place you could. You need to make these cuts. People across the country, across the state, across the country, everywhere, are taking pay cuts, taking pay freezes, losing their benefits, tightening their belts. We've done that as taxpayers, as homeowners. We've paid and paid and paid. We've paid a 40-some% increase last year, and now you want to up it again in the mayor's plan. You guys came up with an idea to keep that from happening. Us as citizens don't want to see the taxes go up. We don't want to see that increase anymore. We want to find different ways on doing it. If cutting some of the salaries percentage-wise is what we have to do, then that's what we have to do. I got my disability cut from the government because that's what kind of financial state that they're in. And I don't make that much. I make less than $15,000 a year. So somebody griping that they're going to have 2% cut on them, I'd like to have their pay. I've got to run a house on it. I've got to feed myself. I've got to pay taxes. I've got to pay my medical. And I don't have the best of health. So everything that's medical comes out of that. I've got an oil bill. I've paid for oil twice this year, and it ran it's almost $2,500 because I was trying to heat my house. You people tonight vetoing this and passing the budget to make our city stronger and go forward is a good thing. Don't let anybody think that the people of Hazleton don't understand what's going to get sacrificed. If we can bring more revenue in, then the people will get their payback. But cutting it is the only, where you guys cut it, is the only place to do it. And then we have to look at the controller if he comes in to negotiate that we aren't spending. Keith Bass made I had made the comment, I think a controller is a good thing. He said, why? 87% of the money we take in is dealt to pensions and wages for the city. That's the problem. There's no money to even fill the potholes. The poor guys on the street department are filling them with dirt. That's ridiculous. So pass the budget. Pass it. Veto it tonight and get it passed because we need to get something in place. And as far as the stormwater fee, it's back on the table again, I see. It's funny, last time when I had mentioned it, the mayor said he had nothing to do with that and he wasn't pushing it. Today I see it was submitted by the mayor, and I just have to ask, he blamed you guys last time. I guess the truth comes out now, and that's all I got to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? like to speak, Evelyn?
Thank you. The reason I'm here tonight is that I read a very disturbing report in the newspaper that our police chief is having his salary reduced by $10,000. Do you know anything about that?
It's not that amount, it's 10%. I think his salary is, what, 65?
69.
Have you reduced the salary of anybody else?
Yes, all the department heads. Yes,
And how about you and you and you?
we're working on that. That's next.
Thank you very much.
Taken a reduction. Remember, I think you canceled our health insurance, if I'm not mistaken.
Thank
But
you.
we're working on
Yes.
that next, Evelyn.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Craig Buddy, Hazleton. I do agree that people don't want to pay more taxes, okay? But you sit up here, you praise the chief and his police force, okay? Then you're going to say we're taking $9,000 away from you?
Not just from him, honey.
But
We're doing it all.
I understand that.
Yeah, we're not
Okay.
singling out anyone.
If you let me speak, Jack, please,
Okay.
okay? You sit there and praise the man. You know his job is very important. Without the police force here, all right, without the job he's doing, this place is going to turn to hell, okay? And like I said, you sit there 1 minute, you say you praise him. Next thing, it's like you tell him he didn't do a good job because you're taking the money away from him. Okay. There are other places to cut, not his salary.
This is matters on our agenda only. At the end, it's, you could speak about anything. This is just what's on,
The agenda.
yeah, you could speak afterwards about anything. Okay? Go ahead.
Grace Kuzo, Hazleton. Resolution 2014-38. Now, have we had a special accounting service for CD before? And if we did, who were they? And what is the hourly rate? And why are we doing this now?
Is Fallon here?
Go ahead. You can answer that, Fallon, if you want. Go ahead. Go ahead. Let her
We've
answer.
had accounting services for as long as I've seen a contract since 2004 with Albert Kishel, LLC. Unfortunately, he passed away in December. That's why we're looking for new accounting services, and their hourly rate was $145. Any
Okay, and
other?
the hourly rate for...
For the accounting services for the accountant was $145.
Yeah. That was previous, or that's now?
No, that was previous. He has since passed, so there's...
Okay, what is it for now?
For now, for the new contract is $100 an hour.
Yeah, okay. Okay, thank you. Any other questions?
Yes.
Go ahead.
You have a chance to override the mayor's veto on the budget. I hope each of you take the time and consider that very, very dearly, because the people can't afford anymore. Things are addressed here. The fact that the city hasn't complied with certain requirements, you know, you got to start looking at who's doing it and who's not doing it, bottom line. And, you know, you can't take it out on the people. I do hope you vote to override the veto. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mark Rabo, First Street, Hazleton. I have a question about Resolution 2014-37. As far as the capacity of the city engineer, because he works for Alfred Benish, I have a question as far as, since his firm is going to be receiving CD money, wouldn't this pose as a conflict of interest in that his position is also as executive director of the redevelopment authority? That's my question. I mean, because he is the executive director of the redevelopment authority, and his firm is receiving CD money, going to be receiving CD money. So doesn't that pose as a conflict?
It could be a potential one, but Chris, what do you say to that?
I'd have to look at it, Jack. I haven't.
Okay.
This is the first time hearing of it. And
Okay.
I just don't know as we sit here tonight.
Okay. Okay.
Because also it says under third-class city code as well, but that's, you can, I guess, because it says under the contracts provision in the third-class city code that the city engineer can't receive.
You're reading the city engineer, and he's not. He's a consulting engineer. He has 2 contracts with the city. There's no conflict of interest there.
I understand.
It'd be different if he was an employee of the city and his firm had a contract. There might be a problem there.
I
But the
understand
way it is
that.
right now, he's a consulting engineer. Alfred Benish, and Alfred Benish will hold the CDs when they get it, and there'll be 2 different engineers in both departments.
Okay.
So I could possibly see, as a director of the redevelopment, making decisions as far as CD money goes that could affect the CD budget.
He doesn't make those decisions.
Well, what does he do there?
He don't make those decisions. It's a vote. It's a
is
vote,
that-
like
But
here. It's
he
like-
could direct.
No, he's not. They vote just like we do. You get the information, you digest it, and then you make your opinion on the vote. Nothing's done in the redevelopment that isn't voted on.
But he can make a suggestion on what
Yeah.
what needs to be done in a certain
He could
way
do
in a
that without
project.
being the engineer. He can make a suggestion,
Okay,
just
well,
like you're making
We're
one.
going to look into that.
All right. Thank you very much.
We will. Anyone else? Just on our agenda only, and later you get to talk about anything you'd like. Okay, that's it. So we'll move on to ordinances. Ordinance 2014-2, an ordinance of the City of Hazleton fixing the tax rate of real estate located in the City of Hazleton for all city purposes fiscal year 2014, beginning January 1st, 2014, and ending December 31st, 2014. Second reading.
Presented.
A second.
On the question? Go ahead.
This tax rate would apply to the budget that was passed on the February 25th, or February 11th, and the December 20th,
I don't know, because what's it going to apply to, or what?
It does. Where is it?
It's supposed to fund whatever budget it is that's in place.
Whatever that's in place, okay.
Right.
Okay, okay, I'll concur.
okay. But with this gives no tax increase.
That's my understanding, Steve. Is that right?
Okay, any other questions?
It is not a tax increase.
Any other questions? And this doesn't include a tax increase at all?
No.
Okay, roll call?
Cassatt,
Yes.
Mope,
Yes.
Sosar,
Yes.
Mundy.
Yes. Third reading
Presented.
Second.
on the question? Roll call?
Cassatt,
Yes.
Mope,
Yes.
Sosar,
Yes.
Mundy.
Yes. Next, resolutions, none. Next, new business, ordinances, none. Resolution 2014-33, a resolution reconsidering and overriding the mayor's veto of budget ordinance 2014-1.
I'll present.
I'll second.
On the question?
Yeah. I'd like to read a statement into the minutes.
Go ahead.
Okay. I have personally sought out 2 additional legal opinions on the city's budget situation. After considering these opinions, I have come to the conclusion that both budgets that are being mentioned are invalid and were improperly passed. I will not cast blame on any member of the administration or member of City Council department. The council and administration have held meetings and attempted to work out an agreement. However, talks have not concluded with a mutual agreeable outcome. Although the parties can still negotiate, we are forced to make a decision between two budgets that I feel were passed incorrectly. The original budget was never advertised or made available to the public viewing for the required 20 days after the first reading. Debt service was not accurate after failed amendment. Revenue was not fully funded at the time of passage. The corresponding tax ordinance was also vetoed by the mayor for a variety of reasons. I would assume that the mayor may have seen some concern with this version because he presented an amended version to council. The amended version was properly made available to the public. However, it contained line items for two amendments that failed. This would require an additional 10-day period after being corrected. Depending on interpretation, it may not have been properly balanced. Council simply ran out of time to correct these issues and cannot properly reach the deadline as required. So for these reasons, I will not cast a vote in which the two outcomes are both invalid. I would like to abstain to override the veto of the mayor. I am hopeful that the administration will follow the letter of the law in remedying this situation. And hopefully this will end the past practices of Hazleton not being transparent with the citizens. The city will move forward and carry out business according to the laws set forth by the Commonwealth and the city.
Okay, any other questions? Roll call?
Cassatt,
Abstain.
Mope,
Yes.
Sosar,
Yes.
Monday.
Yes. I guess, Charlie, maybe we'll defer to you on, do we have 3 votes, and is that a majority?
Well, there's a quorum present.
Yeah.
Jeff abstained, so even
Okay.
without his vote, if he was treated as absent,
Okay.
there'd be a quorum, so you could do business.
Okay.
And you could act as the legislative
Yeah.
body, there's a quorum. A majority of that quorum would be 2, plus 1 would be 3.
No, he's not. He abstains. He's present. He's part of the majority. What do you?
He abstained from the vote.
Yeah.
You cannot require there to be a vote of 4. If he was present.
No, that's a vote. Abstaining is a vote.
No, it is not.
It's for yes or no. It ends up to be a no.
Okay.
The case law says otherwise.
Okay.
The Supreme Court. The way that I read that would be, there's a majority present.
So it would be a supermajority.
Right, the majority, the quorum is 3, the majority is 2 of those, plus your 1 would be 3.
That's not true.
I think that would pass.
He's part of the quorum.
Maybe you want to look at that from the Supreme
trying to
Court, Chris.
Yeah.
Oh, but I think that the code's specific about the overriding of a veto in that it says that it's a supermajority of the members of council not present.
It says that it requires
Right.
a majority plus 1 of the members.
And that's a
It seems
majority?
We have 3 members here.
No, majority of the council is 3.
It doesn't say all members of council.
That would be my
It does
my
say
opinion
that.
and interpretation.
Menu. It says members.
There's a Chris, you can take a look at that.
It has to be specific
Huh?
that all members
Oh, yeah,
of
he's trying to
council
say he's not here.
must be present.
Because he abstained. He's saying he's not present. That's not true.
Okay,
present.
okay, you're going to have to, you're going to research it. We're going to move on.
It's here in the roll call.
Okay, Chris?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Why are we moving on? There's a decision to be made here.
Not now.
Not
Let them-
now,
let them
Joe. It's-
decide. He
it's-
has
You're
a-
overriding
he
the
has-
veto.
Excuse me, you have a comment at the end of the meeting.
Okay, no, he can
Point of-
talk.
No, I'm part of this meeting just like
Excuse
you.
me, point,
Joe, you're
I'm
invited.
part of this meeting
You're
just like her.
invited.
Mark,
here.
but your comments
No,
come
I'm
in
not.
at the end of the
I
meeting.
may participate, not I can participate if you let me. I may participate.
When you feel like showing up, yes.
You feel
Yes,
like- yeah.
right. So I'm
Excuse me.
here and you don't like it.
We're going to say
I'm
this.
here and you're telling me
Joe,
I
you're
can't
always
talk.
welcome.
You're always welcome. but
Okay.
Right now,
Okay, we're
not
okay.
debating this.
This is going to be decided later. Okay, you.
It can't be decided later because of the upcoming resolutions about the stormwater.
Okay.
For the record, my opinion
Okay.
is what I stated earlier. We can agree to disagree on that
And
for
for
the
the
time being.
record, you're saying it's okay that he abstained?
I wasn't asked that question.
Well, I'm asking you now.
You have to have a
I'm saying
You have to have an articulable reason and conflict to abstain from a vote.
So you're saying he had a valid reason to abstain?
I didn't say that either.
You're not saying that, or?
The code requires you to vote unless you have an ethical basis for the abstention or conflict, and I didn't hear that in the discussion.
You didn't hear what?
That there was a ethical basis for the abstention.
So what does that mean?
Should vote yes or no.
Well, I thought he said he felt it was illegal. Isn't that ethical?
Okay, so you're saying he couldn't abstain, or what? No.
A member should not be abstaining unless they have an articulable ethical reason for the abstention.
Okay, so
he's abstaining on the grounds that he indicated, but I don't know that qualifies as a basis for
So you're
abstention.
not sure?
No, I'm pretty sure you should have voted yes or no.
Okay, but why didn't you stop us, or why didn't you say you can't do that?
Well, honestly,
Well,
Jack.
okay, wait.
He's not part of the meeting.
Yeah,
He-
but you're
you have
here
to
to
ask him.
say, okay, so you're gonna let him abstain, and then later you're gonna say he can't do it.
No,
Why
you
don't-
ask.
Ask him if he wants to repeal his vote.
No,
You're
we're not
past that
repealing
point.
his vote. He abstained, we're gonna go on, it's gonna end up in court, okay, and you're gonna get paid for it, too.
Well, that's not my choice.
Yeah,
The-
okay.
The reality is that my opinion remains that you need a supermajority of the members of council, not
Okay.
just those present.
Well, you have case law there from the Supreme Court
and I
that says
haven't-
that members,
And I haven't read this yet,
Yeah.
but it's
So when
not
you
dealing
get a
with the
chance-
city
okay,
code,
well, when
but-
you read that, maybe you might change your mind.
Let's move on.
Yeah, we're moving on to Resolution 2014-34, honoring Corinne Chabot, Director of Hazleton United Rehabilitation Services.
Presented.
Second? Yeah. Is Corinne here, or? Oh, come on. Come on up, Corinne. Please, you can come to the podium. Okay, this is Resolution 2014-34, honoring Corinne Chabot for the Director of Hazleton United Rehabilitation Services. Be it hereby resolved by the Council of the City of Hazleton that it recognizes and honors Corinne Chabot, Director of the Hazleton United Rehabilitation Services, for 25 years of service and her upcoming retirement. Be it further resolved that Council wishes to thank her for her dedication and passion in helping those individuals with developmental disabilities, and wishes her all the best in her retirement. Adopted by Council this 25th day of February 2014. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Can I say a couple things?
Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
Thank you. I just wanted to say a couple things and say it has been my privilege and my honor for 25 years to be a part of the URS family. It is because of the City of Hazleton, the community, businesses, and friends that we have been able to continue to provide quality services and programs for individuals who live with disabilities. So on behalf of URS and myself, I would like to thank all of you for your support. Thank you.
Thank you.
So much.
Okay, we have to, was it presented and seconded?
Roll call, yeah.
Was it?
It
Was it?
was.
Okay, roll call?
Cassatt?
Yes.
Mope?
Yes.
Sosar?
Yes.
Mundy?
Yes. Next is Resolution 2014-35, a resolution establishing a stormwater collection and management fee in accordance with Ordinance 2013-13. Dies for lack of presenting, no second. It dies. Next is Resolution 2014-36, fair housing in the City of Hazleton. I'll present.
I'll second.
Fallon, this is just a routine, maybe somebody asks questions. Anybody have any questions?
Because the city received the home grant from DCED, which is the state requires a fair housing notice to be posted, and should someone look for a home and have an issue with any type of prejudice against race, religion, sex, any type of gender, something like that, there needs to be a fair housing officer in the city to go and complain to, who can forward the complaint to the state. So this is just a general notice.
Any questions? Thank you. Thank you, Fallon.
Thank you.
Roll call?
Cassatt?
Yes.
Mope?
Yes.
Sosar?
Yes.
Monday.
Yes. Next is 2014-37, authorizing the mayor to execute a contract with Alfred Benish and Company for engineering services for the Office of Community Development. I'll present.
I'll second.
On the question, I noticed the scoring system, Fallon. Could you come back? Yeah, you could. Yeah, we're going to have some questions. The scoring system, I saw the way it was. Is there a tally sheet for the scoring system, or?
For each separate firm that went through, yes.
Yeah. Could we get that, or could you get that
I can
to
give you a
council?
copy, sure. I don't have it on me now, but I can get it after the meeting, yes.
You could maybe get that and
I can email them, I can scan
email
them.
it to council members.
I can do that.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I wanted to look at to see what that was. And this doesn't have to be done right today. We could wait till the next meeting, or?
It could wait to the next meeting. It's just holding up all our projects because as of right now, we don't have a CD engineer. The contract with the previous one was expired on the 31st of December, 2013. So we don't technically have an engineer.
Okay, I understand.
We'll table it till the next
Yeah,
meeting.
we just have some other questions.
Okay.
Any
Do you
other
need any
questions?
other information said?
No, just that.
Just the tallies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is that a motion to table?
Yeah, motion to
yeah.
table.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Who seconded?
Cassatt.
Jeff.
Okay, thank you. Cassatt?
Yes.
Mope?
Yes.
Sosar?
Yes.
Monday.
Yes, tabled. Next is authorizing the mayor to execute a contract with Snyder and Clement for accounting services for the Office of Community Development. I'll present.
Second.
Okay, Val, you could come back up here again. Is it an average that we spend a year with them? Do you know what?
Depending on what we need, no more than about 20 to 25 hours. It's most likely for the end of the year if we have issues with the trial balances or if there's something that we need to prepare for the general audit.
So the averages have been over the years?
It's very slim. It's about 20, 25 hours in total.
Averages have been about 20 or 25?
Yeah, for the whole year.
Fallon, is this for the single audit that has to go into the federal government rather than the regular audit that is done for the city each year?
It's for actually a little bit of both. What we need is we need someone in case there's an issue. If we're doing a grant and we're trying to draw down and something's not working right, if we need some accounting advice, we need it for that and also for the audits, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
I got a question. This is the same company that finished out 2013.
Yeah, they took over when Albert Kishel passed away.
Okay.
So they have they have the experience with it, and when we received the bids back, they were the lowest bid.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Fallon.
Any other questions? Roll call?
Cassatt?
Yes.
Mope?
Yes.
Sosar?
Yes.
Monday.
Yes. Next is Resolution 2014-39, sale of 2013 tax claims.
I'll present.
Second.
On the question? Steve, I know we talked about a little bit about this, but maybe you could explain what we're doing here to the public who might not know.
There were taxes that were delinquent at, property taxes that were delinquent at the end of 2013 that are sent to collection at the county level. Northeast Revenue collects that money and forwards it to the municipality or whoever's due the money. This particular arrangement would provide the city with funds in a lump sum up front. So basically, in a simplified way, we would be selling all of those delinquents to this company, and we would get a check for that amount. In this case, it would be estimated to be about $480,000, and $332,000 of that would go to the general fund, $138,000 to the debt fund, and about $10,000 to the recreation fund. If the monies were to just come in as they're collected from Northeast Revenue, we would get about 54% of that in the first year, so about $313,000, of which $215,000 would go to general fund, $90,000 to debt fund, and $6,000 to recreation. So, in the law, there is a cost to have somebody work this deal. It basically is a loan. We're paying the loan back with the proceeds from these delinquent taxes.
Do other communities do it? Did you do it at Butler?
They did not do this, but most other communities do this. The county has been involved with a program like this for quite some time. I think they got out of it this year, actually. But the more money eventually would come to the city if you didn't do a deal like this. We would eventually collect more money, but it's a matter.
But it will be longer and
it'll be longer term,
harder.
and it's a cash flow.
It would just take a while.
So I guess, as I said, again, the bottom line for this year would be, if this was approved, the city would bring into the general fund about $332,000. If this is not approved, we would get about $250,000.
Is this a one-year deal?
Yes.
And it's not automatically renewable?
It would have to be renewed each year.
But it's not automatically. Chris, did you look at the contract, or have you looked at it lately? I know maybe when we first got it, you looked at it, but you haven't looked at it lately.
I'm sorry, Jack, which contract? I was reading the case.
Okay. The contract for us selling our delinquents.
Yeah, I haven't reviewed that.
Is it
in some time, actually.
This would be the eighth year in a row that the city has done this, and there's a closing process that's done on this, and I think the solicitor reviews that, and other folks review it as well.
But is there a time when you've got to notify one company that you've decided not to continue and seek other arrangements to do this?
In a lot of our contracts, there's automatic renewals that if you don't notify them a month or two before the end of the year, it's automatically renewed. So
this is not like that.
Are you sure?
It is not. You would have to specifically approve this, and
every year
they would be told that they could.
If there is, check the contract. If it is, okay, we're just doing this for this year, and then next year we may be looking at doing something different that could bring us more revenue.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So if it is, we're just doing this.
This does not,
yeah.
There is no carry-on process to this. There still would be money that would be owed back to them from previous years, but that money would be collected again by Northeast, and instead of going to us, goes to this company.
Okay, but we're not renewing this for another year. This is it, 1 year. Okay. Any other questions, Jeff?
No, it's
to do it.
Okay. I know, Jeff, you had come up with some good ideas to increase the revenue by not doing this, but I think
we need it. I think
we need the money
we're going to need
desperately, so we have to do this. And maybe if we bring some more revenue in with some different ideas for this year, maybe we could be more flexible and have the ability to do it next year.
Yeah, in the long run, it works out better for us, but we desperately need the money. So
yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Roll call.
Cassatt?
Yes.
Mope?
Yes.
Sosar?
Yes.
Mundy?
Yes. That concludes our resolutions. Comments from the audience on anything?
Dan Basal, West Hazleton, but here for the residents of Hazleton. Why, I know you signed a contract or something for West Hazleton, but you're sending our paid fire department, the taxpayers pay for, to West Hazleton. That's not fair to the taxpayers of Hazleton to send our guys and get overtime to West Hazleton.
Is the chief here?
That's one of the things. Second thing, for maybe next...
While you're on that point, Steve, when you get from the chief, I want to know how many times our men went out on calls in West Hazleton and how many times that cost us overtime. Could you get that from the chief? And email it to all of council.
All I know is that he's told me that they have not had any overtime in the fire department in the last 4 weeks, is all I know.
Okay, I'm talking for the whole year since we implemented that. I want to know how many times we went out on calls to West Hazleton and the amount of overtime that cost us. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
I have
Go
someone who
ahead.
has that written down, but I didn't bring it with me tonight. Another thing, maybe for next year, look at maybe like big cities like Scranton charges their towing company to be in the city. That's a benefit. Charge them. I mean, they're raping the money. They're making the money. Same thing with the ambulance companies. I don't know if a Class 3 city or what you could do, but he's got to do something to make some revenue. And
We're looking at some other things to raise revenue. We're looking at everything.
Okay.
And any ideas, please come here or
Well, I
email
always
us
come here
or
and listen
tell
to
us.
budgets and people crying about money in this, but we're giving, like Mope says, charity starts here at home. We're giving West Hazleton free fire service? Come on. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
He's mad.
First of all, I know that I just want to say something about work ethics. Since I was a kid, okay, my parents installed in me that whatever job you do it well. And as long as you were getting paid, from when I was passing papers with my brother until I was working at my last job, I took pride in what I did. It didn't matter how much I made, because there was times I was making minimum wage, but I was proud of what I made. I was proud of what I was doing, and I knew I was doing an honest day work. And I know a lot of people were coming up here and saying, you're going to cut this, you're going to cut that. I know, it's going to hurt this person, it's going to hurt that person. Is it going to make their job? Are they going to do their job any less because you cut them? They know that the city is struggling. I don't think so. I know Frank from high school. Frank, are you going to be any less of a police chief because you got cut? I understand that, Frank, but for the good of the city. For the good of the city. I know you also get a pension from the state police on that, and I know you have, I understand you have bills to pay. I do too, Frank. What we have to do is we have to work together. And like I said, I understand about getting pay cuts, and I understand about that. I've worked for minimum wage and still managed to do what I had to do. I have to tighten my belt a little bit. I'm upset that it didn't pass a majority, and that Jeff, that you abstained. You represent us, the citizens. By you abstaining, you know what you did? You said, we don't have any opinion on this. If you would have said yes or no, at least I would have known what you had. You didn't. It was a cowardly move to say, I'm abstaining. I don't want to get involved. I don't want to get in the middle of it. You represent. The reason why we had an election and that you got in there, 2 people got voted out because we wanted change. They came up with a budget. Maybe some people don't like it. Maybe some people don't like that they were cut. But my father always told me, you leave a job, there's always somebody there to take your place. And there's always somebody there that will do it with pride, hopefully. I'm hoping that you guys, take a look at what the citizens want. Because that's why when we voted 2 people out. We wanted change. I'm disappointed, I really am, that you said nothing. You're in the middle of the road. Like I said, if you would have had a yes or a no, I would have been happy with that. Saying that you weren't having a vote at all, you said to the people you represent, they don't have a vote. And that's what I'm upset about.
Hi. Good night, everybody. My respect to the president, my respect to the mayor, my respect to the city council members, and everybody here.
Just state your name.
My name is Victor Perez.
Okay. And where do you live, Victor?
I live in Hazleton.
Okay, that's good. That's all I needed.
Okay.
Go ahead. You're good to go.
All right, thank you. I just want to use the courtesy to say hello and to everybody. I am the president of the Dominican House of Hazleton. Maybe a lot of people here in this room doesn't know where it is, the Dominican House. The Dominican House is located in 16 North Laurel Street in Hazleton. We are a nonprofit organization working with the Hispanic community. We are giving English class, Spanish class, computer class, preparing people to take the test to be citizen, music class, karate class for kids, helping people with the domestic violence, helping people with problems with the police officers, situations matters, trying to remove the young people from the drugs or the street problem with the gangs and something like that. We are working in this city of Hazleton, and we are volunteer. We got a lot of members in the Dominican House, and we are volunteers. We do not receive any penny from the city of Hazleton, and we do not receive any penny from anybody, authorities or member of the government. We are working with our hand, helping the community in Hazleton. The majority members of this Hispanic community, we got around 37,000 people in this community, and the majority members of the Hispanic community do represent, according with the census, 37% is Hispanic, but according with us, is 42%. The majority members of that Hispanic community are Dominicans, coming from Dominican Republic. Believe it or not, that's the truth. We got some people here that say they represented the Latinos community. We are not Latinos. We are Hispanic because we speak Spanish. Sometimes the people don't understand what the word means, but exactly mean that the Hispanic community in this city, the organization who represent the Hispanic community got the name, is Dominican House of Hazleton. Sorry for the introduction, but I have to say that because we have to put it something clear. We do not have another person who represents the Hispanic community without us. We got the majority members in the Dominican House. And we do not permit that in the city hall or the mayor or anybody in this city, again, say that we are represent for another person that is just represented by himself, or an organization that never exists. There is not, or there are not another organization in Hazleton who represent the Hispanic community. We request to the city of Hazleton and the mayor, and we send the same letter to the city council, that the Dominican flag receive the honor, and the Dominican people that is living in Hazleton, paying taxes, working hard in this community, trying to work in the real integration with everybody, receive the honor, our flag, to be raised in the front of the city hall in the Independence Day of the Dominican Republic. That means February 27. In 1844, the Dominican Republic received the honor of the independence, and we are celebrating every year that historical date. But for some reason that we respect, the mayor decided to don't permit that the Dominican flag was received the honor to be raised in the front of the city hall. But we got information that they did it before for another country. And we are checking two flags here. I don't know what country exactly that flag means. I suppose one is Italian, the other one I'm not sure.
You could bring one of your flags here and hang it right there.
Thank you. I appreciate your President.
I have no
Thank you,
problem with
President.
that.
Thank you, President.
I mean, that's what I could do as on council. But as far as the day-to-day operations of the city, the mayor decides what happens elsewhere.
Okay, we're going to take your word. We're going to bring the Dominican flag here. Okay. But at the meantime, Mr. President and city council members, honors, we don't understand why the city tried to continue fighting for something that don't have any, it's not important. The problem of the immigration in this city is not important problem in the agenda of this city. It's not true that the problem of the crime in this city is increasing because of immigration of people that come in without documents to this country. That's not true. Because some people that the honorable mayor is recommend to some position here come to this country illegal. Now they are citizens. Perfect. Congratulations. But when they come to this country, they come like illegals. And I never heard that they are involved in any crime or problem. We have to respect the people in this community. We have to respect the Hispanic community. We are not here to create any problem. We are not here to be confronting with anybody or the mayor. We respect the mayor. We disagree with him. We got different views, but we respect him. And we respect the city council members, and we respect your decision. Your decision, we select you. We vote for you. So if you take a wrong decision, we have to respect your decision, because that's the law. But the mayor say, the honorable mayor say, that the Pennsylvania law say from 1895, I think it's an old law, that that law don't permit that in the city hall you can raise another flag, no one else from the United States of America. Excuse me. We got the information, we got the confirmation, the city of Allentown, Philadelphia, Harrisburg, the capital of the state of Pennsylvania, Reading, Lancaster, another city from
Victor,
Pennsylvania.
if you submit that to us, we'll get that to the mayor, I'm sure. Whatever information you have, we will relay that to the mayor.
I will submit it in writing. Sorry.
Okay.
But finally, we just want to say this. Our answer about what's going on here in February 27, we want to celebrate and we send another letter. We do not receive any answer from the mayor or from the city council. We want to do a vigilance around the Dominican House place in the corner, Broad and Lower Street, with different flags. We just want to celebrate and give some hot ginger, hot chocolate, cookies to everybody that cross around. We don't want to be in any trouble, any problem. We respect the law, and we want to work together with the city of Hazleton. Believe me, we are here to work together with you.
I know.
We are not here to fight or create any issue. We got a lot of problems in Hazleton. But the only one problem, the only one way that we can find the solution is working together.
Yes.
I was listening, somebody was talking about we want to change. And I believe that change, the only way to find a correct change is working together. And I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Victor. Any other questions or comments from the audience? Go ahead.
Yes, Norman Tarantino, Hazleton. First of all, I have to commend the mayor for acknowledging the mistakes that were made regarding the flag in the past and correcting them for the future. Secondly, there is a U.S. flag code in the federal government that regulates and states how flags must be displayed in the United States. And that first rule is that if there is a flag from another foreign country being displayed, it must be on a pole the same height as the pole the United States flag is on. Secondly, if it is hung on the same pole with the United States, it must be below the United States flag, so the United States flag is raised first and lowered last. So those are the regulations that are set up by the federal government. Of course, these regulations cannot be persecuted because they also are in violation of the First Amendment of the United States Constitution, so it was stated by the U.S. Supreme Court. So as long as these actions and the flag were flown in the proper way by federal law, they should be allowed to be flown. But I have to say that the mayor has to go on with what is the courtesy of the state law and abide by it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or, go ahead, Mark.
In regards to McKinley Street, I found that there's in the criminal codes, and I ran into the chief yesterday, and he said that he found it was 7510 Municipal Housing Code Avoidance, and it would allow for him to, and he said, correct me if I'm wrong, Chief, but the extradition. I found also in tandem that you have to use a reason for the extradition, and you need Chapter 61, and I would want to tell this to Chris. I sent everybody else the emails, but I wanted to send it to Chris and Charlie if you want it. Neighborhood Blight, Reclamation, and Revitalization, Subchapter B, Actions Against Owner of Property with Serious Code Violations. That would be under 6113, Duty of Out-of-State Owners of Property in this Commonwealth. A person who lives or has a principal place of residence outside this Commonwealth who owns property in this Commonwealth against which code violations have been cited, and the person is charged under the criminal code statute and who has been properly notified of the violations may be extradited to this Commonwealth to face criminal prosecution to the full extent allowed in the manner authorized by the extradition statute. So clearly, if this is used and the person the property owner on McKinley Street does not comply, we can have her extradited. But the thing is, will the states, the chief said it's the DA, but I thought that under extradition it would have to be
Chris,
the state.
Wait a minute, Mark. Where are we at with McKinley Street?
I'm familiar with the section he's talking about.
Okay,
and
but
we're moving on.
are we anywhere closer to getting anything done with that, or are
In
there?
terms of the physical cleanup, I can't speak to that. That's not what I'm working
No,
on.
but I mean the legal end of getting the.
Yes, we're pursuing extradition and the criminal charges.
Okay, but what's the status on it? It's just pending, or?
It's in progress. I know that it's in progress.
I know the last time you said I think we had you were two bills. Are there other bills for that, or?
I haven't looked at it since you and I last spoke. There hasn't been much action from our office since you and I last spoke, other than the pursuit of this particular section. I know that John from my office had met recently with Rick, and they're working on that together.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and under, I just want to direct your attention also, city code, it says under chapter, let's see, it's under property maintenance, I'm positive on that. Okay, chapter 183 of property maintenance, article 2, blighted and vacant properties. It would be under 1839, anti-blight administrative procedures. And I would like to direct the mayor's attention to this one. The mayor shall convene a blighted building committee consisting of, the code enforcement officers, the city engineer, the director of office, community development, the fire marshal, and other city staff as deemed appropriate to include one or more members at large from the neighborhood committees. The blighted property building committee shall convene in a regular scheduled meeting every 30 days or sooner. The various commissioners or their designees shall attend each session. The city engineer shall produce an annual list of vacant properties or buildings. The blighted building committee shall add any blighted buildings they are aware of to this list. The blighted building committee shall review the list of vacant and blighted buildings and select those buildings for which specific strategies may be developed. So I just wanted to know if and when the mayor was going to appoint or try to get this blighted properties committee going, so that way the redevelopment authority can do its work.
guess you're going to work on, Steve, you're going to work on that too, getting those committees.
The committees are in place, but they're dormant at this time because we haven't activated them.
Okay, but we're going to do that soon, right, Mayor?
We're going to do that.
Okay, thank you. And Fallon, I know we put money in for McKinley Street, the last budget, the CD budget, and in March or April, I think the new money comes in. I thought we put money aside for McKinley Street. Okay, so there's money left over there'll be money left over from that. And we could use that for McKinley Street in maybe March or April. Okay. Okay, thank you.
I would also like to direct the council and also the administration that the city needs a comprehensive plan, not just a downtown plan. The city has not had one since June of 1992, and if there's going to be, from the last meeting, for the Keystone Communities grant, there should be a comprehensive plan. If the taxpayers are going to foot the bill for a plan, it should be a comprehensive plan and not a downtown plan only. And as far as with our flags, the flags represent our symbol for our laws and how we govern. And since this is the seat of the city government, no ethnic flag shall supersede the Constitution of the United States and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. You, the council, administration, the chief, fire, you all take oaths to uphold these. Okay? That's what it is. I mean, those two flags shouldn't even be here either. I'm sorry, but that's how I see it.
Thank you, Mark. Any other questions or comments from the audience? Go ahead, Dee.
Dee Deacus, Hazleton. We're talking about lowering the salaries, but what kind of raises did the non-union people get this past year? Were you just undoing those raises in essence?
Well, the cuts only applied to non-union people.
I know, but I noticed the non-union people being that the budget was a little, you couldn't really tell who was getting what salary.
Steve, that's the other thing. I said to this the last meeting, I want 2013, 2014, the way Mary Ellen set it up with salaries and budgets, I want positions that we're going to post on our website, and then I also want the names just for council.
Council does have the names of all the people. Nothing was posted, I apologize, on the website because I don't know, until tonight, there was no vote as to what those salaries were going to be.
Oh, well...
for some of the people. But
okay.
the majority of the workers in the city, the union workers, received a 3% raise.
Okay, let's talk. Now, the police chief said he was going to lose $9,000. Now, at 10%, that means his salary was $90,000. What was his salary last year?
It's not.
It was 65.
It's not. Right.
So it jumped from 65 up to 90?
No, it is not 90,000.
Well, how would
He did get some overtime from working for the Ticket and Click It.
Okay, but...
I know, well, that's another
But,
story.
okay, that's a bonus. But I'm trying to say that if it's 65, 10% is not 9,000.
That's right.
Right.
Unless my math is wrong, but it's only...
I didn't say he got a $9,000 cut. It's 10% of whatever the number is, 60-some thousand.
Okay, the police chief just said it's going to be reduced by 9,000. That's why I'm asking.
That's incorrect, if that's what was said.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
I just want to say I agree with Mark. I think those two flags should be taken out, and I think the United States flag should be the only flag flying in front of our city hall. Because if you allow one, you're going to have to allow the other ones.
Okay.
And then you're going to get in more trouble. But you happen to have the most beautiful flag in the world.
It is.
And it's the most beautiful country.
It is.
I'm sure Mr. Perez loves our country, too.
That's
And
why
I
he's
hope
here.
I hope he loves it as his first country, not his second.
Thank you. Any other questions from the audience? Questions from city administrator or mayor?
Those two flags are from our sister city. They were brought here by the sister city organization. They're in your room. You can do what you want to do with them.
I don't mind them there. And I don't mind if there's another, but hey.
One's
that's,
one's the Polish and one's the Italian.
What
They're
cities
both-
are they? What cities are they?
I can't pronounce the Polish one.
I can't either.
What about the Italian? What about the Italian? Isn't it, it begins with an S. Begins with an S.
Yeah, they told me today and I forgot it already.
Okay, that it?
No,
Comments?
that's not it for me.
Okay, go ahead.
No, there's lots to go.
Go
Jeff,
ahead.
I think you should reconsider your vote and has to be brought back up again if they think you did something illegal, and you should change your vote.
Okay. Which one? On the budget, on the?
On the veto?
On the veto? Well,
No.
I don't know, Charlie. What do you say to that? We have case law on our side, and whatever you have.
Mayor's arguing with our case law, he's saying that he should.
He should call for reconsideration
I
of
don't
his
know,
vote.
I think. the
No,
vote was
we're
already
not
passed.
doing that. We're not doing that, Mayor.
Oh.
Okay? What's next?
He can rescind it.
Okay, well,
Based
we're
on the
not doing
opinion
that.
that his
What's
vote was
next?
improper.
I'm not rescinding. I'm not going to be forced to vote for something that I believe is illegal.
Okay,
If somebody wants to challenge me, then they could.
that's up to them.
I'm not taking either side on, I do believe both of them are illegal, and I'm
Well,
standing.
it doesn't matter either way, Jeff. You play the middle the way you want to.
You could say something to him.
The,
You could say something back to him. You don't have to
Both,
take that.
the one that the December budget is the one we're going to follow, because we believe the January one, the one you amended and changed at the last minute and didn't advertise for the public, is invalid. So we're not
Okay.
going to follow that
Okay.
ordinance.
Okay,
Just want to let you know that.
okay.
One of the women got up and said that you cut the non-union because that's the only people you could cut. That's not true. You could have cut all the line items and cut the highway, cut the police, there's a line item there. You could have cut them, but you targeted those people, the non-union, because they're on my staff.
No.
That's the only reason you did it. So you had plenty of chances to go in and cut the highway labor line and the
We can't
police
cut-
labor line.
Can we can't cut union
Yes, you can.
salaries.
Oh,
How
no,
can we do
yes,
that?
you can. You cut it and we lay off people.
Yeah, but that would be breaking.
But we lay people off. That's not
Breaking-
breaking the law.
That would be breaking the contract.
No, it isn't. Not if you lay people off. So if you had the opportunity, you could have done it.
Is that what
But
you're
you didn't
recommending?
do it. You took this route.
Are you
Is that what you're
recommending
recommending?
layoffs?
So you took. Is she part of the council
No, wait,
or
are
what?
you recommending that we lay off
Judy,
people? Or cut line items in other areas?
No, the statement was made. The only thing you could do was cut a non-union. That's
didn't
the
say that
thing
was the only thing. I said
you
we
had
cut the
opportunity to cut other people, and you would have if you weren't afraid of the union.
Well, we're not
So
afraid
now
of the
you
union.
you just cut these people because there's 108 people on the payroll, and you cut 8. You went in and grabbed 8 non-union guys. 8.
So you
Not 50%, not 20%,
No, no.
8.
Okay, well,
That's not
you're
even.
saying.
That's not even
What are
10%.
you suggesting?
Well,
We should have
I'm
cut
not
more?
suggesting anything. I'm just that mistake. That statement was made false. You have an opportunity to do other things. You targeted the non-union people. That's what you did.
Okay, what else?
All
What
right.
else on you? What else?
Well, I
Jeff?
told you about the budget, that we're not going to follow that budget because what it is, and we are not cutting anybody's wages.
Okay, okay. But, Joe, do you know how this government works? The government works this way. You administer the government. Council sets the budget and decides how much money is spent. That's the way it's gone on since
I follow the ordinances of the city
So you
and the
don't
budget,
decide-
and the budget is an ordinance, and the budget that you passed is invalid.
Well, that's what you think.
No, I know it is.
That's what you believe.
I know it is.
Well,
You take me to court, I'm not gonna follow that budget.
well,
Chris, I had asked you for a legal opinion on the mayor's memo, all right? I asked you, did it hold any legal weight? Was that your legal opinion? I never got a response from you.
Why does it have to be legal?
Well, you're saying...
Why does it have to be legal? Yeah, why? It was my opinion. It was my opinion.
Okay, and when did you...
My opinion is not the law, but my opinion was, and it was spelled out for you, but I don't know, maybe you can't understand.
All I asked was it a legal opinion? You're making a decision, and it's not based on a legal opinion. That's what I wanted to know. Okay, thank you.
I didn't base anything on a legal opinion. I looked at the budget, and I came up with my disagreements, and that's what I put in there.
Joe, I was here at the last work session for the budget. You said that first budget was illegal, it was unfunded, it was everything was wrong with the first budget. Now, all of a sudden,
No, I did not.
I have it on tape. I have
No,
it.
I said it was funded improperly, and you just changed it right now when you did your tax.
Okay.
I vetoed the tax.
You also were on Sammy Lassant's show and a bunch of other, and you said the stormwater fee, you were not behind it. You
Nope.
didn't think we had the money to even initiate it. You made all kinds of comments against it, but yet here it is
Right.
on the agenda.
I didn't put it there. It's in the budget. It's in the budget.
You put it on the agenda, it's under your name.
Yeah, but
No,
it was put in
this is
there-
not. This is the amount.
Yeah.
This is not the ordinance.
No, you're right, it's not the ordinance.
Well, I know I'm
It's the
right.
amount. It's the amount, but if you didn't believe in it, it shouldn't be in.
Okay, okay. Anything more, Mayor? Is that it? Junior Counsel, would you like to say something?
I'd like to commend the police chief and everyone who worked with the drug bust. All right, just the other day, the picture that I go to, I had for a drink or some chips, got robbed by knife point. The cashier was pushed to the ground, and that makes me feel unsafe as a citizen of Hazleton. And the fact that this drug bust was so successful, it makes me feel safer.
Okay. Anything else? Would you like to make a comment?
Where's he come from?
Okay.
Is he a student?
Okay. No, that was...
Student, that kid.
No, that's
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Okay,
Yeah, go
comments
ahead. I'll go
from
sit over
council?
there.
Jeff, would you like to make a comment? Jeff?
Yeah, I actually got a couple here.
Go ahead.
Well, I want to ask, we have the open seats on the boards and the authorities. Do they have to be filled in a timely manner? There was this letter here from the Slusser for the Verkowski case. Are we supposed to be acting on these witnesses?
Well, I don't want to discuss the litigation.
No, but you just said here that we have the deadline.
There's been a request for some direction from council on that matter, but again, it's an executive session matter. We should probably discuss an
Chris,
executive session.
let me intervene here a little bit. I had asked you to send some of the information to me so that I could have, you wanted to hire some experts, but I had some experts that would probably look at it for nothing, but I didn't get anything from that
Jack,
case.
that was sent immediately after you requested it.
When?
Within a week after we talked about it in executive session. That was months ago?
Okay, could you resend it to me?
Positively.
Okay, could you please resend it?
Yeah, and I'll send you the email that it went with originally.
The file, yeah, okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Okay. Well, first, I guess I'm not going to be forced to vote on something that I believe is illegal. And it's not that simple. I stand by my previous statements that I believe that the 12-19 budget is flawed because of many missing figures. I don't totally agree with the budget that was passed on February 11th, because I think it's irresponsible to use all the cash on hand as revenue. And I question the legality of the pay cuts in midterms. I don't agree that the leaders of each department should be making less than money of their employees that work under them. So that's why I can't vote on something I believe is illegal. So I think the best thing is we'll end up in court and we'll see where we go from there. And then I just wanted to thank Frank and the police department and the street department guys for the job they did in the last storm. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Dave, you want to go?
Yeah, first of all, I'm not going to get into the budget commentary tonight because I would have a strong feeling we all know where that'll end up. So I'm not going to say anything about that tonight. I do think, however, there are a few things that need to be made mention. And unfortunately, Corrine, in all of this tonight, you kind of got overseen a little bit. And when you take a look at the work that you guys do at URS and what your clients accomplish and the, how do I want to put it, the confidence and the satisfaction that your employees and your clients have every day that they come to work, that they accomplish what they do, I applaud not only you, but I applaud them for everything that occurs at that facility. And I think that there should have been more of a round of applause and more made of that, and I wish we had time to make comments on that a lot more than some of the extra commentary, unfortunately, that was made tonight that wasn't needed. So first of all, I want to thank you for that. Second of all, I think everyone in this town feels a little bit more safe today than they did a few days ago. It's not easy, and all one has to do is take a look at the list of names, and I want to go on record right here, right now, because unfortunately there's a lot that's said about this at times. Unfortunately, it's through whispers, but if you take a look at the names of those who are arrested, drugs don't know anything about race, ethnicity, religion, age, or anything else. And all you had to do was take a look and list of those names that were in the paper, let alone those that weren't in the paper. But I would suggest one thing, too, and the Attorney General, and I'm sure that man sitting back there against the wall right now would say it as well. This is a business, and there's a market here. And unfortunately, as long as there's a market for these drugs, as long as there are people that will be willing to buy these drugs, there's going to be people that are going to fill in that water, just like water. Push it aside. Push it with your hand. And I guarantee you there will be water that'll come in behind it when you have a puddle. If you think that we're going to get rid of all of the drug dealers, we've got a good handle on, and what the chief said the other day and what the Attorney General said is right. And they've got a good connection as to knowing where those drugs are flowing. But we in this town have to stop buying as well. You want to get rid of the bad guys? Stop buying their stuff. When you dry up the market, you'll dry up the dealers. Thank you for your time here tonight. Thank you for your contributions. And I think I've said enough. Thank you.
Thank you.
Number one, I'd like to thank you for your service that you've given. I've gone to a couple of fairs with URS. I've enjoyed it immensely. I'll tell you what, it's a wonderful, wonderful group. The children that participate in that group, well, young adults or whatever, wonderful, friendly, courteous, a lot of fun, and they're great dancers too. And hardworking. And I'll tell you what, the staff is remarkable for URS. I have to give them credit. They stretch dollars like you never saw before. Maybe we should take a lesson from them, because I think we could benefit from that. But that being said, thank you so much for your service. Another thing is, we try to avoid layoffs in the city, but we needed to start tightening our belt. We didn't like what we had to do, but this was something that needed to be done. We had really no choice in the matter. We have to cut back on our spending. Our expenses are out of hand, and unfortunately, this is an area that we did in order to avoid layoffs in the city. It's easy to say, lay off a worker, lay off this one, lay off that one. That's their livelihood. They depend on it. So making cuts we felt was the lesser of the evils, all right? But it's a beginning, and we have to tighten our belt, whether you like it or not. We have to start doing this, because we're living beyond our means. I'd like to thank the people for coming once again. I'd like to thank the police department and the chief for the excellent job that they did with the city and the drug bust. I'd like to offer Kathleen Kane my sincere gratitude. By them coming in with their staff and assisting our police department, we were able to accomplish a lot of taking the drug dealers off the street, and that's what we were all looking for. So thank you so much. This is City Hall. This is the council chamber, and this council chamber belongs to everybody, each and every one of you, and everybody is welcome here. Everybody is welcome for input, ideas, and if we all work together, we can get things done. So thank you so much for coming tonight.
Thank you. I just have one or two quick things. The budget that council had passed, I believe, was a workable budget. The mayor proposed an amended budget that included a 0.55 mil tax increase, $613,000. Our budget that we proposed was a budget that we thought we could work with, and we think we will work with that. And I guess the mayor's going to find out later in court who controls the budget. Was it the mayor or council? And as long as I've been here, this is my fourth term, council's always controlled budget. When he had his majority of his friends, they gave him whatever they wanted, whether it was increases in salary or anything. Now, we hit the wall. We can't afford any, you people can't afford any new tax increases, and we're not voting for them. And we're not voting for the mayor's first budget or his second budget. Our budget is going to be in place, and the mayor's going to find out in court which one it is. I want to thank everyone for coming. I want to thank the chief and Catherine Kane and the whole staff from the Attorney General. Corrine, you guys do a great job. How's your dad?
He's doing okay.
Please tell him I said hello. Thank you all for coming. Motion to adjourn?
Last thing.
Adjourn.
Jackie,
Yeah.
one last thing.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I have one last thing. I did it at at the inauguration day. I'm going to say it again. My father turned 97 that day. My mother turns 97 or 96 on Thursday, and I want to wish her a happy birthday. Get that in on the record.
Good job.
And you were absolutely fabulous tonight. Thank you.
I want one of those cigars. I want one of those cigars. Where's the stove?
Yeah.
Stove.
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 Yeah.